Welcome. My name is Stanley Thatch. Welcome to my show. This is how I see it. Let's get right to it. As you all know, a few weeks ago, there were some ESPN analysts and employees. They were laid off. And I just sat back and I observed to try to get a feel of what was going on. And this is what I came up with, and this is how I see it. Stephen A. Smith. I'm just sitting here trying to get a grasp of this whole thing, and it always leads back to me, and this is just how I see it. Stephen A. Smith. Now, right before these layoffs took place, Stephen A. Smith and Kendrick Perkins became real good buddies. They did. It appeared to me that Kendrick Perkins was like always sucking up to Stephen A., appearing to try to get on his good side. And from the way things look, it really worked out. It really did. You know, there came a point in time where all you were seeing on ESPN was Kendrick Perkins. From 8 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock at night. Hey Perkins, let me ask you this, Perkins. Perkins, let me ask you that, Perkins. That's all you were hearing. And coincidentally, while all this was taking place, Stephen A. was on vacation. And Perkins had that look, whereas his confidence, was just through the roof. It's like he knew, as well as Stephen A. knew. They knew it was coming. And I repeat this again, that Stephen A. was on vacation, nowhere to be found while all this was taking place. Then all of a sudden, after his vacation was up, he comes back. And as you all know, he has his own podcast. Now he wants to convince us that he's feeling so bad for everybody. He just made that like a priority, you know what I'm saying? That I have to convince everybody that I'm next. I'm going to be the next one to go. I'm next on the list. He was just pushing this narrative like, y'all look at me, I'm in trouble too. So I'm saying to myself, why are you working so hard to convince us that you're next, Stephen A.? Are you really next? See, we just happen to know that you are vested in the. I hope I'm saying it right. What's the talk show? Good gracious, I'm on it. First Take. I'm sorry, you all. First Take. You're the executive producer. So that's telling me that you have some skin in the game. Okay? This is just how I see it. And keep in mind, I'm assuming, to be honest with you. All right? Then I took a look at the persons that some of the persons that were let go. It appears to me that the persons that were let go, there were quite a few of them that had issues at one point in time with Stephen A. I mean, it was rumored that I'm keeping in mind I'm using that word rumored. You know, it's important that I make that known because this is just speculation. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying this is just how I see it. Okay, so don't take my word for anything that's being said on today, as far as this subject is concerned, because you all know I'm good at what I do. 95% of the time, I'm right. Now that's confidence for you. But as you all remember, I'm sure some of you all have heard that Molly and Stephen A had a thing going on. For those of you all who don't know who Molly is, that was Jalen. That is Jalen Rose's ex-wife. And I commend Jalen Rose because when he was on the show with Stephen A, he pretty much held it together. You know what I mean? He's good at what he does. Yeah, he's good at what he does. But yeah, it was rumored that Stephen A and Molly had a thing going on, and I remember seeing them on a yacht down there in Miami, and they looked pretty much happy together out there on that yacht in Miami, chilling. Then you had Max Kellerman. As you all know, Matt Kellerman was the co-host of First Take along with Stephen A. Something went awry there, and there came a point where Max Kellerman's services were no longer needed on First Take. Now, I'm just letting you all know how I see it. Okay? Then there was Williams. I don't think Stephen A appreciated too much on how Jay Williams used to pretty much disrespect him. Say what he wanted to say, when he wanted to say it, and how he wanted to say it. I mean, there were some times when I thought that Jay Will was ready to go to blows with Stephen A. So he just happened to be another casualty, if I'm not mistaken. I know I did see him on ESPN radio the other day, so I don't know if that was a replay or or what, but as far as I know, he was included in the Big 20 that was let go. But they're the main three that I had my eyes on as far as their relationship with Stephen A. Smith. So these past few days, things have been really kind of like getting back to normal, and it's starting to be swept under the rug. You know, I'm sorry that those guys lost their positions with ESPN, but hey, at the same time, they're millionaires. Money follow money. They'll be just fine. For those of you all don't know, my contract was just terminated with the trucking company that I was pulling loads for. And I'm unemployed or have no means of income right now up until this day. And it's been about 2 months. My savings is depleting. But I'm keeping my head above water. I'm remaining optimistic. So I know what it's like to be let go and removed from your livelihood. Anyway, I'm not here to give a pity party on my life, my situation. I'm good. I'm happy. I'm motivated. Man, this was a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Yes, it was. Kudos to the NBA. I mean, that summer league, those summer league games were, they were very, very entertaining. I enjoyed it. There were some good moments. There were some bad moments, but there were a whole lot of good moments. Them young brothers are playing some ball. I'm telling you. I mean, they all up over the rim. They running sets. They're playing defense. They getting a little physical at times. They shooting threes. I mean, you can't ask for a better summer league right about now. Especially while we're waiting on the NFL. How about that? Thank you, NBA. The hype for Friday night was just unbelievable. I mean, now let me try to pronounce this name right, because y'all know how I am with these names, but Wembayama was on stage Friday night. And, boy, they were lined up around the building. Did he answer the call? Well, some folk would say he didn't. But his was a little bit different than Miller. It wasn't like he wasn't making an effort. His shots really just weren't falling. He had some good moments defensively. He did a pretty good job on the board. And you know what I like about him the most is that he knows how to fall. He knows how to hit the ground and get back up. He takes his fall, let it flow through, get up, brush yourself off, keep on playing. I like that about his game. Love it. But then he came back the second game and he answered all the questions. Whatever it is that you wanted to know about his game, he answered your questions Sunday night. Believe me what I tell you. The brother is that and some. Believe me what I tell you. Wembayama is that and then some. I think the San Antonio Spurs organization is like, I can't even explain it really, but I know they're just some kind of happy, some kind of pleased, because they know they got themselves one. But it amazes me how certain teams, these type of players, always fall in certain teams' laps. You know, I mean, just these special kind of players. These special players always fall in. I mean, Tim Duncan fell in their lap. David Robinson fell in their lap. Larry Bird fell in Boston's lap. Magic Johnson fell in the Lakers' lap, as well as Kareem fell in the Lakers' lap. I'm just saying, I ain't saying nothing funny going on, but I'm just saying that's just how I see it. That's just how I see it. But back to the summer league, man. I'm telling you, man, those guys, man, those second year players are geared up and ready to go, man. I'm telling you, they're geared up and ready to go. These guys, like I said, they're playing over the rim. There was this second year player for San Antonio. Was it Champagne? Champagne. He's having a awesome summer league performance. There is Smith from Jamari Smith from Houston. Back to back 30-point performances. I mean, I really do think with the way this young man is playing, if he can keep it up, Houston needs to be looked out for. Because not only was Jamar Smith balling, there was two more other guys that looked like grown men putting it in out there. I didn't get their names. I was tired this weekend, man. I really didn't do my due diligence. But I'm just here to tell you, man, goddamn, Houston, I think, is going to be a team to reckon with. I can see them being, let's say, at least a seven seed. For real. Now, Scoot Henderson saved the day on Friday, even though Wabiamba didn't have such a good performance on his opening night. Scoot Henderson came in and answered the call. And people, let me tell you, like I said at first, Scoot Henderson is the real deal. Scoot Henderson is the real deal. I mean, he plays under control. He plays with so much confidence. It's just ridiculous. And I think by him playing, coming from the G League, made all the difference in the world. So he does have some pro experience, being that he did play with the G League, because those guys are pros. I love the way he gets his teammates involved. And the way I see it, I really am sticking to the fact that I think Lillard should rethink some things, man. I mean, he's been with Portland for 11 years, man. I mean, give him two more. But at least he might make it to the trade deadline the way things are looking. Maybe in that shorter period of time, some things can change. We'll see. But Scoot is the real deal. I think if Lillard went ahead and put his whole heart out into it, he could average 35 playing with Scoot. That's real. That's for real. I think Scoot is just that good. And with a few more other pieces added to that team, I think Portland would be just fine. Brandon Miller. As you all know, I was hard on Brandon Miller that first game, but I did end up saying, well, let's just see what he does the next game. I was a little frustrated that Perkins was like, let's give him a chance. But he made it sound like he he made it sound like let's just wait 1 or 2 years, three. No, 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 no. I gave him his chance. And his chance for that second game, which he just stunk. Y'all forgive me if I might sound a little harsh, but I'm just telling it like I see it. He stunk. But that's okay. It's okay. I mean, he only shot 4 times. That is unacceptable. I just don't care how much time you giving a player to get himself together. 4 shots for Brandon Miller is just awful. I don't ever want that to happen again. Which it didn't. But now I'm going to tell you this. I can say this. I can somewhat, and it might sound like I'm flip-flopping a little bit, but we all do sometimes. But I can somewhat see him being okay if he went ahead and moved to the 2 guard. And on occasions, played at the 1. Because him going down court, setting up in the corner is not the answer. And so I'm blaming the coaches for that also. The coaches supposed to design, or what am I looking for? The coaches are supposed to game plan for their number 2 pick to have success. Yeah. The coaches can bear some responsibility in this also. I'm not going to let my superstar just settle for taking just 4 shots in a basketball game. Ain't no way in hell. But I think if they will go ahead on and move him, this is just how I see it. And if I was coaching, I would just say, "Come, you're gonna play my 2, and then you're gonna run some 1, because we're gonna make sure you have the basketball in your hands." Because one thing I do see is he can shoot the 3. He can shoot the 3. Ain't no doubt about it. But my thing is that if he's playing at the 2, he can defend a smaller player. Chances are he might create a mismatch at that position, whereas he can probably have a better chance of going to the basket and beating the smaller defenders off the dribble. Use his size. He can at times post up against the smaller defender. Because what I saw in Miller was some defensive issues also. I mean, those guys, man, I'm telling you, man, these players playing this shit, it's just something about them, bro. Them guys ain't playing. They trying to get a job. And they like, what number 2 pick? What number 2 pick? And it was another player on Charlotte team. That dude, every time he got the ball, he shot the damn ball. Number 7 and number 17. I ain't calling no names. I'm just number 7. When you watch the Charlotte Hornets play again, watch number 7 and 17. They taking all the goddamn shots. He got more shots than Scoop. Number 7 got more shots than Scoop coming off the bench. So, but anyway, we're going to keep a lookout for that move that I just mentioned. I just think it has to happen. I'm hoping that they'll see it also. But man, I'm gonna tell you, man, I'm gonna say it once again before I got out of here. Shout out to the Summer League ball players, man. Y'all guys are doing your thing. You're looking good, and I think a lot of teams really are basing their rosters on what's going to happen with these Summer League players. Because you got some brothers out there that can just step right in and play. And I mean, log in big minutes. Yeah, they're just that good. And I just love the way they play over the rim. They don't mind posterizing your ass. For real, for real. Telling you, these boys here, boy, hey, got to love it. My name is Stanley Thatch. My show is How I See It. Love you. Peace.